Okay. Hey, right now I'm working on some of the UI and engine integration stuff. So if I if I fire up the engine, my C# UI framework will start to work with the actual engine itself. So I'm just I connected things up earlier, so it's all tied together nicely. And I'm just sort of refining that a little bit more so that there's like a nice two-way communication between the UI and the actual backend of the engine. And hmm. Okay, so what I'm doing is, let me see if this thing is it built? What's the problem? Does it not like... Oh, probably needs a port. Yes. Okay, that's good. This is so good. This works so nicely. It's unbelievable how easy it is to set up this like cross-process communication. Or edge. I don't know if I can have edge. Okay. 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 So we just do this. Actually, whatever. Message. Okay. Should just be able to. No. Okay. Is that what I missed? Oh, byte. Okay, we don't want a byte. We want an int. Should be sufficient. Is she okay? Yeah. Babies being babies. What the fuck? I locked this. Okay. Okay, let's see. So, what I need to do is also we'll do it this way. We'll say, maybe I should just keep these all together. No, keep them separate. And then we'll say table I think message ID int and how do I pass? I think I can do like payload size long, and payload will be nest. Measures not supported, so you can. Okay, but that's. Let me just go to So I think the way to do it is with a union. They have them here, okay. And the way you do that, okay, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep these all together. No. Can't make up my mind on this one. Oh yeah, I figured it out. It's because I switched to multiple processes instead of using everything was in a separate thread in a single process before. So when you're sharing texture handles, you can't share them between processes just like that. If a handle is given out for a particular process, you have to duplicate it for the secondary process so that it's able to, so DirectX can import that handle and load the texture, essentially. So it was actually pretty simple. Like I just had to, I have this like code that runs, kind of bootstraps a game, either for standalone or for tooling. So I had to make sure that I pass in the process ID of the engine, of the editor, and then that makes its way into the renderer. And when the renderer is actually creating those textures and generating the shared handles so that they can be composited into the editor, it just duplicates them for that secondary process ID, and then it just things. That's why I was like, I can't believe this isn't working. Like the code was the same, right? It was just these handles have to be duplicated. Like I'll actually show you real quick. This is all it is. You have to make like a call into Windows, which duplicates a handle object. And then you duplicate it from the current process into the secondary process, and then it gives you a second handle, and then that's what I give the tool. Oh, I just punched my cat in the face. Sorry, Luna. Okay, this is what she wants to do now. Yes. Okay. Now I have to sit here and hold her butt while she hangs onto me, and I have to code with one hand. It's the life I chose. Okay. let's get back to it. All right, Luna, I can't hold you the whole time, you know. You're really cute and all, but oh my God. Actually, this would be okay. Okay, I know you love me. Look at this little. Okay, why don't you go on my neck? Oh, you like to go on my neck. Go. Okay, lie down. Go. Okay. Here, lie down. There you go. She makes a really good neck pillow. Hmm. That's interesting. Why did I have to move it above? That's not what it's called. It's called visualization details now. Okay. Okay. Okay, message. So that needs to be wow. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed by flat buffers. Like, pretty damn impressive. Dot union? Is that it? This cat thinks that I can hold her. Okay. You're gonna scratch up my shoulder. I don't understand. What am I doing wrong? AI to the rescue. Why do you need that? Mm. This cat hair is like making my face itchy. I don't understand why this isn't picking up the... I mean, let's clean this up a little. It does not need to be this. This is a perfect example of when to use auto in C++. Okay, I don't need this. What I need is MSG. Oh, this is... Okay, so let's just see, will this... Okay, this will build, but I can't give it a 0 because I need to give it a union. But it doesn't like, or maybe it's just Visual Studio being stupid. Let's see. God, this cat hair is making my face so itchy. No vital conversion from... Okay, tell me what I did wrong. Did I not pass the message ID? Wait a second. Did I? Oh, hold on. Message ID should be editor message type. Okay. Maybe now this thing will... Hey Kyle, how's it going? Message ID payload type. Okay. So message ID. What's with this thing? Okay. Message ID is going to be, no, why don't we do this? can't do nested namespaces. Yes, you can. I just oh. Wait, does it automatically serialize that for me? So I don't need to. Okay, I see. It's smarter than I thought. It automatically generates a type field, so you don't have to do that yourself. So when you go here, so I'm trying to create like an arbitrary message payload. It's a two-way payload, so it's like and I don't even need that enum probably then, which would be amazing. I don't have to maintain two things. So we'll go editor message, and then okay, it like makes an enum for you based on the union type, which is super easy. And then here you can actually just put the init details dot union, I think it's what you're supposed to call. Fantastic. And now I need to make sure that the C# schema is up to date. And now if I go to here, there is no render info. There is editor envelope. Wait, what did I have before? Okay, editor envelope dot get, and then pass BB. I think this needs to be. Let's make life easier. And of course. Payload type. What the hell is payload type? It's an editor. How do you synchronize it in? Okay. This is what it should be. Is this thing not? Editor message type. How do you switching between between two different, no, editor message. Why is it doing that? Case, editor message, hello type dot message. How the fuck do you do this? Should just be able to. Editor message payload type. That's a C++ thing. Editor message. Yeah, so it looks like it generated an enum. So what the hell? Snoob interop enter. Okay, let me try that. Noob.interop.message should be just this. Okay. Except, why are my brackets indented? Who does that? Who writes brackets that way? That annoys me. So, anyways, so if that's the case, I need to say message dot as var init details. This goes because the name is used by enclosing. Oh, is it because I have it in my... No, that shouldn't. ID, or I'll just say message data for now. It's probably complaining about this, but that's below, so I don't... Okay, now I should be able to just do this. And this should be message data. And then here. Okay, let's give this a shot. If this just works, I'm gonna be super impressed. Like, this is some crazy tech. I've never worked with anything like proto buffers or flat buffers, Captain Proto, and all these other ones that are out there. So, like, just the fact that this stuff generates such nice code. Ambiguous. No. What is your problem? Mm-hmm. Actually, need to get rid of all this stuff. Let me undo that because it shouldn't be ambiguous. There you go. There should be no interop happening in this class anyways. What's I use AI just for, you know, so it like digests the documentation for me. Like I literally do not copy its code. I use it just for like, instead of reading through all those docs, like I got some books on like 0MQ and flat buffers, which I'll go through kind of in my own time, but right now I just need to keep moving, and it seems like that is the way it's supposed to be used anyways. What's BMAD? Like what does it do? I need to look it up. When you say like with large code bases, I'm assuming you meant what does it do? Okay, so we got some data. We have these things. Like this is crazy. This just works. Like this shit just works. Like I love it. Like it just deserialized. I don't know. I'm very impressed. Very, very impressed. Should probably keep Task Manager open. Let's try this. Launch. I need to put like a spinner as the engine spins up, but boom. Beautiful. Like 2 separate processes now running. We've got the Avalonia process, and we have game.exe. I have 2 of them for some reason. Kill. Let's see what'll happen. Let's pull the rug out from under it. If I kill this, will it crash? See, the editor doesn't crash. You can literally kill. Oh, it does. I spoke too soon. It locked up. But I'm sure I can handle that. I don't think I. The idea is that like you can kill the game/engine runtime and the editor will stay alive, or and without crashing, or rather, you could restart it. You can handle that, and you don't have to lose any work. Like all your stuff that you're doing in the editor. You think it looks sick? I mean, it's just some graphics I made for a tutorial demo that I have. I'm just actually wiring up the sort of engine tooling interop stuff now. And now that I have this thing that you guys just saw me do working, I can do. So I have communication going from the engine into the editor, which is what it just received, and now I need to do an engine message. So we'll do messages that are sent from the editor into the engine, and what that'll be is let's do distinct key up, key down events. Table key up, and then we'll say scan code. Let's do integer and table key down. I could do like, you know what? It's probably better if I just do key event, keyboard event, and then we'll just do is down, and we'll make that a bool. And then later on, I can add stuff like modifiers, and you know, if someone's holding control or whatever, and I don't have to maintain two different structures. So we'll do engine message, and we'll start with keyboard. Actually, not event. Keyboard. How should I name these? Okay, whatever. Everything can be renamed. Let's keep moving. So, can I just, boom, regenerates the code, my C and C# code. And then I just make sure that this thing's up to date. Now, boom, everything has the code. So development methodology. I don't know, I gotta check this out. Let's see what you're talking about. What's BMAD? BMAD code method. Development. I'll keep this open. I'll give it a read through. I don't generate code with AI just because I don't know. I'm old, I guess. But and I like to code. So I mean, what's the point on doing what I'm doing if I'm giving it to AI to do it for me? Unless it's doing like bitch work, in which case I don't mind. Okay, so the next thing that I wanted to do is initialize details needs engine URL, and then we'll make that a string. Actually, now that needs to be up to date. I forgot to add that before. I'll need to automate this at some point. Is it because I don't use AI that makes me a real man? I do use AI. I use it like an assistant, you know. I'm like, tell me what it says in the docs for this, and you know, instead of like I get it to pre-digest information for me. Okay. So next up on the list, we got to get the keyboard working so that I can control our little character. So what needs to happen is like inside of that viewport window in the tool, we receive some keyboard events. Right now I'm only handling these keys because I'll need to map these keys to the scan codes in engine. So the way I'm gonna do this is I need a queue. I need like a so it doesn't need to be in here at all, actually. This can go out. We no longer need this. And the way I'm capturing the keys, I think, is in the main window. Yeah, there we go. And what needs to happen is, or can I capture the keys? in, I don't know actually where I'm going to capture it. This thing can expose a property, I think. Let's make sure this is receiving the events properly. Okay, it does. Okay, now I need to get this event over to the engine process. And the way I'm going to do that is, I think, let's brute force it for now, and then we'll do a separate queue for the keyboard events. So what we'll do is we'll go look at the code. I think it's actually first things first. I can't do anything until the engine sends back its URL when it initializes. So what happens is, like, the tool opens up the engine runtime and then it gives it like a URL and it says, hey, here's my number, call me when you're loaded up. And so the engine kicks off, initializes Vulkan, shaders, whatever, all this kind of stuff. Like, it starts up, and once it's up and running, it calls back and it says, okay, I'm up and running. I'm running triple buffered. Here's my texture handle so that you can display what I'm doing in your own UI. And it also needs to pass through its own endpoint, because the engine is now going to be also pushing and pulling, right? Like, it's pushing data and it's going to be pulling data from the tool, from the editor tool. And what we need is to send the pull URL. We don't need the push URL. We just need the pull URL so that it can tell the editor, like, when you get key events, mouse events, whatever events, resize events, send them to this socket, essentially. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this should be up to date now. No, not that. Initialize it. No, it should be like you were just there. Engine URL. Okay, so I think that's the first one. Is that how I ordered them? No. I've used Claude a little bit. I don't pay for any of them, so, like, I don't find them that impressive. I'm sure if I paid for them, they would be a lot better. But I do like Claude a little bit, but I guess I don't like it any more than I like Gemini or ChatGPT, you know. Again, I'm sure if I paid for them and I got their latest models and all that, they could probably, like, do some really good shit. But I don't have a lot of experience with them. So max fill, target handles. The message should be at the bottom. What's the problem here? Why are you not? Okay, now, there you go. Pull URL. Or do I have to add string or something? Honestly, I really do need to read up on what you're talking about, because right now it just sounds like this thing that I don't understand. I'll have to look it up. How do you create a string with flat buffies? Hey, flat buffies, how do you make a string? Yeah, maybe join the Discord. It's in the description, and then I'll send it to you private on there. Because I don't know, can I actually even message private on here? Yeah, just join the Discord if you can. I mean, I don't really care about putting my real name, but still. Builder dot, oh, okay. Oh god, it's so good. Builder dot create string, and then what did I just pass the string? Pull URL, and it just fucking works. And I bet it's going to be just as easy to pull that data on the other side. Here. Actually, yeah. I just jumped back into C sharp because I haven't really been writing a lot of C sharp over the years. And like there's a lot of new stuff that I'm getting used to. Like this is kind of cool. These like I think they call them primary constructors, where if you have one constructor for like simple plain old data types, you can just write the constructor right in the header here, and then you can just put like I think you can just do like equals value or something like that. Let me do it again. Construct C sharp. Or you just do this. Why did I think you have to do like value and it matches it for you? I guess that would be more difficult. And then here, and that's it. And now this thing will just be read-only. All these are just read-only. Did I not? And then let's pin some tabs because I'm tired of looking for things. Okay. So here you can just go no, not that. I think you can just do. The thing with flat buffs is you have to like, everything is in memory, so you have to make copies of things if you want to keep them. If I just want to pull like a variable out, it's cool, but like you have to. Okay. And then handles list, and then we just need, that will be the engine. Okay, nice. Hope that, so that pulls in the data, we get the handles list. We already have the max frames, and then I just need actually message data dot engine URL. So this should do what I want it to. Oh. Okay. Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful when things just work on the first shot, you know? Okay, so now the engine has come back and said, okay, well, here's my URL. You can push events into this URL. And is that? No, it's fine. It's crazy how good the synchronization between Vulkan and Direct3D is. Because what's happening there is like the UI is drawn with Direct3D 11, and the Vulkan renderer and Direct3D keep each other. They're juggling 3 different frames, so they're Vulkan's kind of doing triple buffering, and D3D is also triple buffering, but only displaying what the engine's drawing. And they use a keyed mutex, this like primitive synchronization primitive that you get with DirectX, and they're like locking and unlocking each texture and drawing, and it's so seamless. Like it's actually better than doing Vulkan to Vulkan. It works better because the Vulkan stuff is kind of wonky with Avalonia. Okay, so now we have that. So this message was received. So what I need to do here, and then we'll do while, let's do while true for now, and then I'll figure out how to break that. I'll have to put some condition in there. So now this thread, this thing's running in a thread, kicks off here, and as messages come from the engine over the socket, they get pushed into, they get received here. So this thing will pull in just raw bytes over the socket, and then it'll deserialize them into whatever the message is. And flat buffers seems to have really nice support for enums, which is what I was kind of doing before. Like not enums, unions, I mean, and enums. In fact, I don't need this anymore, and I won't need this one either, because what it does is it looks at this union and it automatically generates an enum for you along with the union data, and you can just, does this, I can just switch on it. I'm gonna have to Now that I have that, there's like a method that gets called how am I going to do this? I don't want this to be goofy. I want this to be good. So, I know that's like the most descriptive thing. Do view models receive events, keyboard events, or is that just like controls? Let's see, if I do this inside of my view model, anybody do C#, WPF, Avalonia? Raise your hand, please. Yeah, so this doesn't exist. Yeah, okay, I thought so. Should I be, if you're familiar with this stuff, like I'm trying to follow like an MVVM sort of methodology here. And the idea is that you want to do most of your stuff in your view models and not just willy-nilly do like event handlers in your controls and your windows. Like everything should be sort of piped through XAML. So I'm receiving keyboard events in the main window. And previously I would just kind of, when the engine was running in a separate thread, the editor would communicate with the engine just over a DLL. So I would just kind of push the keyboard up and down events over the DLL right through here. But I don't like that. And what I need to do is get this keyboard event, Google's anti-gravity. Okay, let's think this through for a second. When the data comes in, this thing happens. And then this control will receive so this will just initialize the viewport. Great. What I need to do, okay, I think I know how to do this. And the way this gets done is, I think I have like a onProperty changed in here. So I'm going to do another one in here. Is there onProperty changed? Why not? Okay, so whatever. Let's just keep moving for now. Start engine message thread. Okay, and we'll just call that from here. And in this case, we're going to do similar thing to before, but it's going to connect to the init details.engine URL, and let's do that. Okay, and then we're going to do the actual message thread that's going to push events. No, I'm doing some AI support. I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'm just challenging myself to work kind of the way I'm used to. Like, I've been coding for over 20 years, and I'm kind of used to doing things a certain way. And it's not that it's not that I haven't embraced AI, but I like to test myself to see if I'm understanding the concepts I'm working with. Like, I don't want to like, I feel like AI is becoming a crutch, even for me, in that, like, anytime I hit something, I'm like, oh, I better go ask AI. And with certain things, like I said, it's good. Like, sometimes you don't want to sit there and digest documentation for an hour. Like, you just need you want to keep moving. There's certain things I don't give a shit to understand. Like, uh, not so much that I don't want to understand them thoroughly, but I don't want to sit down and read the docs like for an hour, right? I just need the answer. Yeah, like, I like to code, so I don't. And plus, like, again, I don't pay for these AI services. If I did, I'll probably have a different opinion. But, like, they generate shitty code, and, like, I don't like copying and pasting than cleaning up, right? Like, I'd rather just write it. And sometimes if I have like a engineering question, or um, I don't know, it's sometimes I use it like a coworker, right? Like, I just go be like, hey, what do you think of this, right? The problem I have with AI is that it kisses my ass a little too much sometimes. Like, it's like, wow, that's a brilliant idea. You're thinking like a high level engine engineer. I'm like, you say that about everything. I could give it like the stupidest idea sometimes, and it'll be like, that's brilliant. So it starts putting on its knee pads, like it's. Okay, let's actually, what am I doing? Why am I doing a thread? I just realized what I'm doing. I should not be doing this. I just need the server in here for now. Hang on to the server object. Oops. Engine server, and then we'll just do get, and then we'll say equals new. This will be a push socket. That's what I need. And this will be a push socket. Yeah, see, I like it for stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe I should pay for it, because it'll probably save me time. Okay, so engine server dot connect. So once that's connected, we should be good to roll. What do you guys think about, like, chatting versus working? Like, I don't know where the balance is. I just started streaming. I I don't know what's a good balance between stopping and just shooting the shit with people in the chat versus just head down coding. Like, I don't know what people enjoy more. Okay, so that's working. Okay. So right now, here, let me fire this up just for people who are. This is a C# Avalonia UI, and it's running in its own process called Avalonia Editor for now, until I rename it, of course. There's also an actual engine that I've been writing that's written in C++, and it's got a Vulkan renderer and all this kind of stuff. And basically, I have written a setup where the engine and the C# application kind of share some texture memory, GPU texture memory, so that you can see what the engine is doing in the viewport. This is how all these engines do it, right? Like I'm sure Unity and Unreal do something identical probably, but instead of like going to the engine and saying, "Hey, what are you drawing?" Put it in this buffer, going to the C# app and like displaying it like GPU, CPU, GPU, like doing a triple hop that way. Essentially, you just sort of like share the render target out of the engine, and you share it with the UI. So I got that wired up, and at this point, I have like, since they're in two separate processes, they talk to each other over 0MQ, which is like this RPC framework. And essentially, the editor starts up, and like I'll show you what I mean exactly. If I go to like main, so I have this like, if you look at the game library, it's just this, right? It's just a bunch of code, and I've tried to simplify it so I can roll out. Yeah, it's all from scratch. So if I start up, I want to be able to roll out games and demos as rapidly as possible, and also like if other people want to use this engine eventually, like I want this to be as like game developer friendly as possible. So anyway, so I have this like main here for this platformer demo that I've built. And essentially what happens is, let me actually, shit, this one's still running. What happens is like the editor starts up, and this is going to be like automated eventually, but if I go launch with debugging, what it does is it like starts up the game exe process. And now the exe is sitting there waiting for me inside of Bootstrap. It's waiting for me to attach a debugger. Oh my God. How many are running? I don't know which one the latest one is. Not that one. Okay, hold on. I gotta kill some process. I gotta clean up some of this code for the process handling, because I'm getting a lot of zombie processes and that code is not finished. But essentially, let's rerun that. So if I launch with debugging and now reattach, so now we're gonna get, the engine starts up. Oh, you know what? I just realized, of course, that breakpoint won't hit. But essentially what happens is like the C# application starts up the process, and then it'll obviously go into main here. The reason why I didn't hit this breakpoint is because that's in the constructor. This is like the earliest that you can hit that breakpoint. Like it kind of loops while it's waiting for a debugger. But essentially, you come in and it gives it like the process ID and the URL. The engine is running its own socket so that it can receive information from the engine. And then once that's all done, it actually starts up this like worker thing that kind of wraps some editor tooling around the engine itself. And it starts up. So if you saw the main, my main here is running my platformer demo. And platformer is just like a simple application. It kind of like inherits from application, and it just has a couple of virtual methods just to start. I'm not calling virtual methods on the hot path. So it initializes like this demo that I'm going to be showing you guys has like, you know, the player control system, weapon system, projectile, damage, health, whatever, enemy system. Loads some textures and animations and stuff. And this is what makes the actual different demos. So in main, I just tell it, hey, run this application, and then it'll like bootstrap the engine and the worker and all that stuff. Cool. I'm glad you're liking it. And yeah, it kind of fires all up. So long story short, I wanted a nice decoupled UI. Like of course, like I wanted to use a real UI framework. Like I've used ImGUI before, and it's nice for like little utilities and tools and simple things, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of engine developers that go down the I'm GUI route and like they go hardcore into I'm GUI, I think that's a mistake. Because if you want tools, like I was watching a guy on YouTube earlier and like he knows what he's doing. Like he's got nice rendering and stuff, but I can see that he's struggling to build the UI for his thing because like it looks bad, it's clunky. You can't build certain things like they're very proud of like their docking and stuff like that. Like I wanted to use a real um, retained mode UI framework, and it really doesn't get much better than the stuff in the C# world, right? Like WPF, WinForms, Avalonia is kind of like the newest kid on the block, and it's like people love it. And I wanted to use like real UI tools the way I'm used to doing UI. I've done a lot of apps over the years and native apps and stuff like that. Like you want to use real frameworks. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to use C# for that, and the engine's running in C++. Now let's get them tied together. And initially I went with like a DLL idea, but the DLL thing's kind of has its problems and it's hard to maintain because you got to like export all this crap. And so the RPC route is easier because you can create as many different channels as you want, and they're running in separate processes. And if you're sitting there actually working on a game through the engine and then the engine crashes, like the editor, I'm going to make it so that the editor doesn't crash and you can like save your work and restart the engine and like hot reload and all that kind of stuff. So I know I'm rambling here, but that's essentially sort of the bullseye, And I think I've already hit it, right? Like they're already talking. Now what I need to do, the part that I'm working on is because it's the engine that's going to be forwarding keyboard events and mouse events. Sorry, the UIs forwarding them into the engine. They're going to be going over the wire. They're received at the window level currently, like the main application window. I need to send them into where's the main window? Yeah, so they're received here. And let me just see, data context is like, how do you want to do this? So essentially, the way you're supposed to do stuff with this UI framework, like WPF or Avalonia, or any MVVM style framework, like you have to, or should I actually, is there like key up event? I think key, oh yeah, you can just do it here, I think. Key up, and then I should just be able to do binding. Let's see. AI will probably agree with me. Let's see here. Hold on. Not that one. This one. Avalonia. Let's do a new chat. Keep this separate. Should I use key up in XAML with Avalonia? Use XAML and find a relay command. If this is how you do it, then direct Avalonia key up event is standard on an event. The standard events can be directly bound to a relay command. If you're looking for specific keys, enter. Okay. So maybe what I need to do, let's give myself a little more space. So I think, let's try this. So it's saying event trigger behavior. I mean, I hope it's that easy. Sorry, what are you asking me? What about language? Trigger behavior. The IA. Oh, it's interaction triggers. What's happening? Heyo to everyone who joined. Okay, let's see. I enter. It's really the best way to do it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I was on the right track. I think AI just agreed with me. That's good. I shouldn't do this. It's like I think there's going to be too much overhead for like keyboard and mouse events to go through the whole binding system. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So if we do this, okay. This, okay, we'll see if this needs to be a thread. Public on key up. All right, and now we'll do vm dot on key up e, then on key down. I can always refine this further, but let's just see if we get these events. We should. And we do. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, now I need to, so I've done this with C++. Now let's do it with C#. We have engine server. Actually, we need a builder. This will be I don't think I need, or we'll see. Make sure that everything's up to date. Okay, what is it, net MQ? Didn't make a push socket, right? Yes. So how do you, I need to make a builder, kind of like C++. They don't have like a getting introduction, is that what I go to? No. Quest socket. Not that. How do you use the C++ version of the code? Flat buffers. This is what I need to be looking at. Okay. Okay, I think I just need a builder. Like, all right. So I need to do flat buffer builder equals new flat buffer builder, and oh my god, initial size. Let's do this just for now. Okay. Engine message. What the hell did it generate? Interrupt. Engine message. Okay. Did I not generate a... Let's clean this up a little because we'll regenerate the C# classes. Why is render info there? Oh, I probably have to like completely delete this and completely delete that and regenerate that. No, I'm gonna do this. Okay. Should be a lot less. Okay. Editor message, engine message. Okay. What I don't understand is, where did it... I really should get more sleep, you know? I just did this like an hour, half an hour ago, and I'm already forgetting what the hell I did. It's because, yes, editor envelope. Okay, engine envelope. I need to make another one of these. Table engine envelope. We'll say payload will be engine message. That's why I need this. And then code has been generated. No. Here. Oh my god. Fine, I'll just... There. We should have engine envelope. Okay, now. What was the tutorial saying? Okay, builder payload type will be engine message dot keyboard event. Beautiful. And we also need to create a keyboard event. So this will be a key up event. So keyboard event dot create keyboard event builder. And okay, here's where the scan code stuff is a little annoying. So I'm just gonna do it the stupid way just to see this work. Did I not have it here? Where the hell? Or did I delete that? Okay, whatever, that's fine. What I need to do is say int scan code equals 0, and then switch e dot key key dot a. Let's just do A and D for now. I'm very curious how this is going to work. And then let's look at SDL scan code, or fuck it, I'll just bring SDL3 keyboard scan codes. Okay. Any chat stuff? Oh yeah? It's some copyright free. Do you got any suggestions? If you get me something, I'll play it. I was actually thinking about playing some music because it's pretty quiet. Oh my god, Alt tab. There. Scan code equals 4. And then D is 7. I'll probably have a mapping for this. Or do something like... What am I doing? Oh. Okay. And then we'll say keyboard event. Key event. Fine. Equals create keyboard create, or what is it? Keyboard event dot create, isn't it? Yeah. Oh wait, I'm already doing it. Telling me I need sleep. And scan code. So this is on key up. So is down will be false. And now here, can I just literally say var key event, and then just do key event? Is it that good? No, of course it's not. Well, it is, but I just need to. Oh no, I need to do key event dot. If it's like C++, it'll be key event dot union. What is this giving me? Do I need to go finish? This thing is... Okay, so I guess it's just dot value. Okay, so I was almost there. And now I just need to get the bytes for this message. And I need to data. We'll say var envelope equals. We should be able to do envelope dot. No, you have to do builder dot finish, and then pass the envelope dot value. Oh my god. Okay. No, this doesn't give you bytes. How do you get the bytes? I think I just saw that somewhere. This fucking... How hard is it to just put like proper examples, you know? Okay, sized byte array. Cool. Builder that sized byte array, and now I should just be able to do this. Bytes. It's not, no. Why is it doing that? Engine server. Is this an error? Send frame. This is different than the C++ API, but let's see what happens. Now, engine worker should get that data. So this thing's ready to pull. Let's now fire up a, what do we call it? We're gonna call it the std pull thread. Let's now, can I just pass a function pointer to? whatever, whole thread equals std thread. And I think I can just do this. I should be able to capture my socket. I should probably just no. Pull your own, and then in here I should be able to just go should run. Let's just do this. We'll say pull dot receive. Oh no, that is it just that receive? Okay. Recache. Oh, I think I know that one. That's funny. I've listened to, I think, both of those, PS1 and actually there's so many of them now, so it might not even be the same ones. But memory cache for sure. Is that the one with like the cassette? Ball 6. As long as they're not copyright. I don't want YouTube striking my shit. I'll check them out after. I'll find some copyright free. No, I'll keep this. Do I need to make a... Okay. Hmm. Oh my god. Heyo. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry. My cat needed attention. And so did my daughter. Everyone needs attention. Rice crackers with pate. Mm, 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 mm. Right. Mm. How do I do this? I'm almost done. I hope it's not annoying. Mm-hmm. She does. Mm. Today, I'll tell you in one sec. Today, I am finalizing the wires between my game engine tooling and my game engine so that I can continue building out the actual UI a little bit more. And same Q, I think message T. I can do this. And right now, I am getting things set up so that, yeah, I mean, you'll see in a second. I'll show you. First thing I want to do actually is just see if I'm even getting any data in here. Actually, I probably should have done things a little differently. Okay, so this should get the, okay, that's running. Now if I press a key, cool, 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 finish, boom. Now we should send that off. That blocks. Yeah, well, this is a little demo for the engine that I'm doing. Just a little simple 2D game, just to demonstrate that everything's kind of wired up. What's going on though? I'm supposed to be. Hmm. I don't know what kind of Mario you're playing. I guess he's got a bit of a weird hat, but yeah, I don't know. It's just like sample crap. Why did it freeze up though? That's what I want to know. It shouldn't be freezing up. Like, where's it stuck? How do you break all? Where are we? In the engine. Where is the engine? Actually, that's gonna... That's weird. That's so weird. It should be connected. Did it freeze here? I think... Why does it feel like this entire thing is freezing? God, I need to pin this tab too. I'm spending more time looking for tabs. So this should go push event. I just want to see if this... Let's do keep down. And then we'll just say scan code equals STL scan code D. I mean, in theory, this should just make my guy walk to the right and keep walking to the right. Thing is, am I even receiving these events? Like, this thing should be working. My whole life. Over probably about 25 years. I've been doing it professionally for 20. Am I just forgetting how threads are executed? I don't need to join the thread. So odd. Like, those messages are just not coming in. Okay, so clearly this, the hell was that? Oh, why is it false? Oh my god, because I'm starting the thread. I'm so stupid. Okay, okay. Why would I expect it to even... Are you a programmer? I mean, if you're not a programmer, then I can understand why you would struggle to understand things. If you are a programmer, you should know what the hell string is. What are you trying to learn? What language? Python's cool. I've done some Python. Copy this. Oh, fuck. Yeah, never mind. Hold on. I think I just realized what I'm doing wrong. This thing should not be... This thing's going to go out of scope. This is C++. This isn't C#. Jumping between the two, I'm getting sloppy here. Yeah. Okay, yes. I don't need this. Of course it's not gonna work. This thing would just be going out of scope. Suck a dick. What do you mean? Oh, yeah. Where did I start the learning process? Man, I was a kid in the 90s. I would fuck around in DOS with QBasic, and then I found a C++ book at the public library, and yeah, started trying to learn a little bit of C++. I was too young to really know what the fuck was going on, but I would, find code examples in books and type them out, and then I realized back in those days it was a little harder to get into programming C++ because all the compilers that everyone used were paid, and I didn't have. I was a kid with no money, so. But yeah, I got a hold of like Borland C++ or something, and I would play around with OpenGL, like early OpenGL, 90s OpenGL, like the shitty one. Hmm. Wait a second. First of all, this should be pull. That's probably why it was crashing. No, not really. Um, they haven't fixed any of the bugs that piss me off, so you know. Yeah, Rust is not going to take C++'s place anytime soon. Believe me. Believe me. The entire games industry, just that alone, will never switch to Rust completely over. Like, there's no one's gonna write. Like, the games industry is built around like crazy wizardry with memory and CPU and shader stuff. Like, you have to have ultimate control over the system in order to write game engines like efficiently. And I don't see hardcore game developers and engine developers just all of a sudden writing Rust. Like I'm sure you can do good stuff and optimize stuff, but pick up any engine development book and the kind of stuff they're doing, people who do hardcore Rust would be like, oh my god, they'll clutch their pearls, you know? Okay, let's do this without debuggers. I don't know, maybe something's just freezing. How do you balance player freedom versus keeping the game's narrative on track? You're asking the wrong guy, though, I'll tell you, because I spend way too much time doing this kind of stuff and not enough time doing game stuff. So narrative is not something that I've had to really deal with yet, but I'm sure when I get there, I will. Okay, what? Okay, let's. I think I know. Like, obviously, that's not gonna work. I'm like connecting both ends. I'm thinking with my ass here. Like, why is that? I think we're almost there. I think we are very soon. We're gonna see this thing controllable. Okay, connect. First, let me double check something. Engine message receiver. Yeah, okay. I've just been doing this wrong. Surprised it even let me do that. Okay, connect. What? Pull, bind. Wait. No, this should be. Why am I doing that? What the hell was I thinking? The engine. Let's do this. Okay. What was I thinking? That was completely messed up. Okay, yeah, that should bind. That should give me the engine's URL. Engine's initialized. Okay. Now, okay, that did what it's supposed to. That's good. That's good. We made some progress. The key down event was received. Now, can kill that, kill this, and now we just need to actually partially satisfy his name. What is this data? Okay, here. C frame bytes. Do I have the same? So much easier to work with C#. Message dot C. Okay, is there like a size somewhere? Size? Okay, let's try. So we should be able to create, it would be, create root as editor envelope. Okay, so it needs to be noob interrupt that create keyword event. Okay. No, that's not what it needs to be. Keyboard event. Okay, how about I read some documentation. And I think that's ZMQ. No, that's not what I need to look at. I need to look at this one. Get monster. Okay, can I do get keyboard event? Noob dot interrupt dot key. No, it would be engine get engine envelope. Engine. What the fuck? Did I not? Sure I did. Why do I get an editor envelope? Get engine envelope. I don't have one. Yeah, game developers care about like just going as fast as possible, and sometimes that requires some cutting corners. I do like the idea of Rust and the kernel, the Linux kernel, which seems to be happening a little bit because it seems like some of the guys that write that kernel aren't the cleanest. Well, Core is listening. So if I have this, engine message, do I deserialize? Yeah, I don't have it. So I have to keep adding these root types, I guess. That's how flat buffers work. Envelope. Okay. Maybe now I can. Okay. I guess it just wasn't done like indexing. Get engine envelope. Okay, good. And now it would be message dot data. And then how do you actually okay. No, that's get so weird. What? Oh, it's payload. Get payload. What was it? Just payload. Okay. All right. All right. It's making sense. It's making sense. That should give me now a type of keyboard event for oh my god. Okay. What the fuck is this? Why? Keyboard event. What's the oh, it's got to be const. Yes. Key event scan code in 32. Okay. Key event 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. This is short. Okay, well, we'll just why is that an N32? What did I... This needs to be a uint. Or actually, u short. Okay, that's what we want. We'll keep this as 16s. And this should stop complaining, hopefully. All right. What I also need though is key event is down. That's a bool. So, okay. If else. Imagine this works. I wonder if there's going to be latency. Like, it's not supposed to have a lot of latency. Like, this is supposed to be pretty instant, but there's other protocols. Why are you not? Let's put some breakpoints. You guys are so quiet. Perfect, this will work. Let's hope. Let's hope. Okay. So this, let's see. Okay, my event scan code. Yeah, okay, so that went in. My key down events aren't coming in, which is why the guy's not moving. I think maybe I needed to. One second. Oh, of course he's not gonna move. It's because that key event is not even wired up. So let's just quickly, we'll do this. We'll copy this code just to see this thing work. And we're gonna send keyboard event, key event value, key event. So this is down, so it should be true. Okay. It should work. All this stuff is wired up. The engine's all like built to work with this whole input system. Maybe I'll give you guys a little rundown of the engine after. I like showing off my proud achievement. Okay, let's just, there might be some latency that I'll have to tackle. So let's do this without a debugger. Oh yeah. It works. The latency is not too bad, and this is just over straight TCP. So I know I can optimize this a little bit more. So let's just do one more thing here real quick, just to, I'll have to figure out the mappings here. So J and K, and those are, what are they in? Let me zoom this in a little so you guys can actually see a little better. So J is 13 and 14. Okay, so let's go 13, 14, and then I think I missed one of the labels. It's gonna work. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah. I'll explain it all. But you guys see? Can't believe this, how nicely this is working right now. And I'm actually pretty impressed by the low latency of the communication. I haven't even turned on like fast mode, and I can barely feel any. Perfect. Yeah. I'm gonna do a code commit here because this is a milestone. And we're gonna say added push pull sockets for cross comms between engine and editor. Great success. So your question is, would you like me to explain why? Would you like me to explain why someone would bother writing both a Vulkan and D3D render center, just picking one? You want to explain? I'm trying to understand your question. Or you want me to explain why I have both? Here, answer with a message and I'll be right back. I just gotta go check on my daughter. So, the reason why, if you're still there, I don't actually have a full-blown direct 3D renderer in here. The who's gonna run in here? Oh yeah, she did. Hey, kitty. I have a Vulkan backend. I will build a D3D11 renderer as well, just because it's easier to prototype in Direct 3D or OpenGL, and then you can write certain things much faster, and then when you're ready, you can write like the fast path with Vulkan. I also just like writing Direct 3D code. But the reason why I have it right now is because this UI framework, Avalonia, is built on top of Direct 3D 11. That's its best backend. So the way I have this set up is I have like my engine rendering with Vulkan, but the editor and the engine share textures. So in order to get this viewport here, right? Like in order to see the game here, remember, these are two completely different applications, right? Like Avalonia editor is one, and game.exe. Why are there? Oh my god, I gotta kill some of these. Game.exe is a completely separate application, right? So game.exe is the engine runtime and the game code and all that stuff, and it's rendering to a direct 3D texture, and the Avalonia editor is hosting that direct 3D texture into its own UI layer. So you get really seamless integration of like the engine inside of the editor. So you get two different applications sharing pixel data, essentially. So, beauty. I'm so glad this is working now. And I don't know if that made any sense, but it's kind of a complicated setup, to be honest, and it's I've actually explained it like 50 times already because people ask, and at first I was excited to explain it, and now I'm just like, well, it's because, thing. So, yeah. What's next? How long have I been going? How long is the stream? Where do I see? It doesn't show me, does it? doesn't really show me. Three hours? Wow. Okay, let's do a little test. So, what's the... Not that. This is what I need. What is the... Yeah, I started, man, my daughter woke me up at 4:45 this morning. I made coffee and I started working on writing code. So, and it's 7:30 right now. I did take a break though. Like I hung out with her earlier and okay, so I was going to check what's the fastest 0MQ protocol. Tell me AI in proc. Okay. What are the various ones? IPC. Let's try IPC. And then let's do on the C. I wonder if this will just work. It should just work. Let's see. Is sharing the texture directly with the GPU help with input latency when you're moving objects around in the editor? 100%. It like, because otherwise, what the lazy way to do it, if you didn't want to take the time to engineer it, it would be to like go to the GPU, tell it to copy the texture memory, and there's 3 textures, remember, to copy the texture memory from the GPU into system memory like RAM, and then once that's done, you would take that and then upload it again to GPU memory so it gets displayed in the editor. So you're essentially going from like, and it's the same GPU, right? Like you would essentially be going from VRAM into system RAM and then back to VRAM, like this copying. And it's not just copying, it's like processing and all this stuff. And you could do it, it would be pretty nice looking, but why do it that way, right? It's already on the GPU, and you can use these things called NT-share handles on Windows, and Linux I think has its own variant or whatever. But there you can essentially take like an object, like a GPU object resource, and make it shareable. And there's some stuff you have to do so that it's cross-process and all that, but essentially like I have my D3D renderer, all it does at the moment is just makes those textures, and then there's 3 of them, so for triple buffering, and it hands them off to Vulkan, and Vulkan can import direct 3D textures. There's API support for it. And then Vulkan just renders to those textures now. It's just doing the same thing Vulkan always does, but it does it to textures provided by DirectX. And that same set of textures also goes to Avalonia, and Avalonia does its own import. And it can then composite them natively into its own UI. So it's just GPU to GPU, so much faster. And input latency, there really isn't any. You wouldn't even have much input latency with CPU copy either. But I just, like this is a pixel art game, and if you look at like my main class, right, it's 512 by 288, right? Like that's a pretty low resolution for the actual. This is like the texture, the render target, and this is the actual window size, right? But what if I wanted to render in 4K? Like I'm gonna copy 4K um, 4K textures from the GPU to the CPU and then back to the GPU across 3 frames in flight at 144 frames a second or whatever. Like you don't want to do that. That's just like you're not going to want to keep the engine open. It's just going to be like that's all it's going to be doing is just copying memory around, right? So you want to do it this way. I don't. Anyone who's serious about doing this kind of thing should do it that way, I think. Okay, let's see. Will this actually connect? Error. Why the errors? Some of the latency you're probably talking about when you say moving stuff around, you might be referring to just like poorly implemented concurrency or something, right? Like sometimes people write applications where they do too much work on the UI thread, and you know, you don't want to do that. So can I not do this? Can I not do an IPC, or do I have to create this file? Let me see. I see. Um, okay, so this will be. Maybe that's all it is. Hopefully that's all it is. Because TMP is a Unix path. I think that's why I was complaining. Because this would be the fastest protocol for doing this messaging. Like TCP is already blazingly fast from what I noticed. Like there's minimal latency. But if this works, one sec. Yeah. Hmm. What is the problem? He realistically should have started. I'll be right back. I just gotta help with something. second. Okay. I don't understand why it's still in use. Shouldn't be. Did it make it? No. Zero and Q, C. I'll figure out. It should be letting those go. I don't understand why it's not, but failed. Really gotta sort this out. I keep having to shut down. Sure. I definitely post on Discord now. Maybe I'll just do like an at everyone or something. I don't know what works. You know what? I don't need this. I just need IPC for the other one for now. And then here. Thanks, man. You too. And drop in again. I'm gonna actually cut the stream pretty soon too, because it's getting. I've been on the computer way too long. Oh wait, I'm starting it with debugging. Of course, it's not gonna fucking. Yeah, this is when you know you gotta like just go, because you're just. I thought something wasn't working. Hmm. How am I not getting those? That's odd. That's really odd. Why would that not hit that breakpoint? Okay. That's connected. That's good. I don't understand. This is. What changes? What? I didn't do any changes. Or did I? Do I have to send an empty? Okay, why is it jumping around like that? Like, there. All right. Did I not launch? Did I not? What's happening now? How's that not launching? Did I break something? Like what did I just do? What? How's that not launching? Oh my god. How did I do that? I guess I did too many undos. I thought I was losing my mind for a second there. That's really strange that it's not. I think the thread is cracked. Well, that makes sense actually because I'm not even checking this thing. Why didn't I? Problem here. I think that's what that's supposed to be. I mean, this was all working over TCP. You know what? I'm gonna leave it at TCP for now and not break everything. And then we will figure out how to do this. Let's see. Things should just work right now. I'll figure out this IPC stuff tomorrow. Let's see, launch. Okay, I mean, this is good enough for me to keep going right now. I genuinely actually do not really feel latency. I'm trying to like, it feels basically instantaneous. I'll have to try with like, because with the keyboard it's hard to tell. I'll have to try it with the mouse hooked up. I might actually just use TCP. It seems pretty good. Like over localhost, it's just the loop back. It doesn't even hit the network card. Like it's just pretty damn fast. Let's, where's platformer? I want to try the big map and see how. I'm just going to try this out and see how it runs inside the engine. I mean, it shouldn't really make much of a difference. And then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go because what happened? Oh, yeah. It's getting kind of late for me. Oh, look at this beautiness. Is Handmade Hero telling you to use the Windows API? That's ridiculous. Don't fucking waste your time. At all. Like, you're gonna get nothing from wasting your time with WinAPI ugly early 90s code. Like, just jump into SDL. Watch my video. I have a 2.5 hour video. You'll get more out of 2.5 hours than whatever 25 episodes of WinAPI bullshit torture you're gonna be put through. I promise you, you're going to come back and you're going to thank me for watching that video because you're going to learn how to write a game loop, how to open a window, how to draw, how to set up like a basic but a fully functioning game loop. You're going to learn how to do like this. See, the thing that I'm playing right now, this is what you're going to make in 2.5 hours of video. Like I spent weeks editing that so that it's dense and I don't waste people's time. In fact, one thing that's missing that's really cool is it's supposed to have a nice parallax background. These background skyscrapers are actually different layers and they're supposed to move at different speed. But since I rewrote the backend to a Vulkan renderer, I haven't actually redone the parallax effect. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I bet people will be a lot more interested. What? This thing's running choppy. Why? Oh, I know why. I know why. There's a... That's fine. That's just engine limitation stuff. But everything is working as it should. I am very happy with my progress today. Oh, that's where it puts them. I was wondering where these files... Why the fuck are they even created as files? Like... Whatever, that's fine. Okay. Okay, well, I'll be back to this tomorrow. Whatever, checkpoint, commit, work. What are we gonna say here? We're gonna say working TCP based cross proc comms done. All right, everyone, I gotta hop off. I don't want to go to bed at too late of a time today. Not that it's super late or anything, but I want to go wind down. Thanks for watching, and I'll probably stream some more in the coming days. So I hope people come back and chat a little bit more. And the Discord link is in the description, so join there, and maybe we can all do like a, people that have been watching. Maybe we should do like a voice chat on there and shoot the shit sometime. It'll be fun. So with that, have a good night, and thank you for watching. Where's my chat? Where's my chat? Hi. How do I end this? Oh, it tells me the time right up there. Okay. Good night.